Good afternoon, we are Group 2 and today we are going to bring a viewpoint from parents about the topic should high school students be allowed to use AI programs such as ChatGPT for studying. And our point of view is disagree. We're going to start our views right now.
While technology can enhance learning to a certain extent, I believe that reliance on AI can hinder our children's readiness for real-world challenges. As we already know, real-life situations require a set of skills that go beyond simply finding the answer, such as problem-solving, collaboration, and communication skills. As AI tools become more and more accessible, children may feel more inclined to turn to AI tools instead of seeking help from their peers, teachers, or parents. Imagine high schoolers tasked with a group presentation. With the advancement of AI, they can generate 20 slide professional looking at their fingertips, collect data available on the internet without much effort. While this may sound like genius, dynamic, or even life-altering idea, it poses significant risk. First of all, excessive reliance on technology can deprive our children of essential opportunities to develop social skills through active engagement, like gathering information during the whole process of making a presentation, conducting interviews and questionnaires, and tackling problems together. These experiences are invaluable for both personal and professional growth, which cannot be replicated by any AI tools. In conclusion, while AI can enhance efficiency, we must recognize its potential to diminish essential social skills. Let's ensure that our children have both access to technology and the interpersonal skill that they need to empower them in the future. So with that, I'm passing the presentation to Hao.
Next, we want to introduce to you the second point is that the AI can reduce the creativity of our children and their novelties of their work. Since AI can come up with detailed and seemingly creative answers to almost all questions, our children may have an incentive to turn to AI for solutions whenever they study. And as this continues, they can gradually lose their confidence to think up their own ideas and use their own ideas. According to their neuroscience news, the researchers from the University of Exeter Business School as well as the UCL School of Management divided 300 participants into 3 groups, with one group with no AI help, the second and the third group with from 1 to 5 AI generated ideas to write their own stories. Then they have 600 people judge the story. The stories from those who had access to AI were judged to be 26.6% better written and 22.6% more enjoyable. Such an arresting result may lead our children to rely more on AI in the future instead of brainstorming their own ideas. And besides, as more students turn to AI for help, then more and more students approach AI, their answers and solutions to problems can appear to be similar. And in the aforementioned study, a 10.7% increase in similarity was also found among the writers who use AI compared with those who didn't use artificial intelligence. And as stated by Alok Gupta, a professor from the University of Minnesota, he stated on Forbes that as humans start to mimic AI, they stop wrecking their brains and then they act similarly like bots, which means there will be a decrease in novelty as well as the collective creativity among our children. And for all the above reasons, I think that AI can have adverse impacts on our children's creativity and as well as the novelty of their work. And they cannot think of new and novel ideas enough to set themselves apart from all the information that they can find on the AI. And next, we move to the next point with the link.
And now I'll talk about another big disadvantage of AI tools. Well, not this. Next.
Right after that is this one.
Okay, slide này cùng.
Which one?
Đây, đây này nhá, xong là đến. Okay, we cannot deny the fact that it's so tempting for our children as students to cheat with AI technology. Well, only, take ChatGPT for example, only by typing the answers typing the questions, will you receive carefully crafted answers which can be used in a bad way. Professor Alex Lundgren used to declare that this is the greatest cheating tool ever invented, according to the Wall Street Journal. My child told me that some of her friends used to cheat and do assignments, hand in the assignments that had been done by ChatGPT. Not only did they get away with such a cheating, but got high marks as well. And I think that this is a really big unfairness and unacceptable academic dishonesty. Well, to give you some statistics, Best Colleges has surveyed 1,000 current undergraduate and graduate students to hear their perspectives on AI technology in higher education. And results show that 56 college students who used to use AI to cheat on their assignments or exams. Next slide, please. Moreover, students using AI are also subject to plagiarism. Admittedly, some people may say that plagiarism involves copying and pasting, which means that such tools as like ChatGPT are plagiarism-free. However, they fail to factor in the fact that ChatGPT they doesn't cite the sources for most of the time. They use the quotations and copy the writer's writing styles without ever crediting them. From my point of view, the use of technology compromises academic integrity, and I send my children to school not only to do the homework and to finish the assignments and get good marks, but especially in order to become a decent member of our society. So honesty is key. I don't want my child and other children to cheat using technology, so I believe that AI shouldn't be allowed in the educational setting.
I will continue our viewpoint now. So as parents, we have the responsibility to protect our children's privacy and well-being. So we are strongly opposed to students, high school students, using AI system for their study due to the significant privacy issues. AI tools often require students to input their personal information such as names, date of birth, emails, and academic history. This information is stored in databases that may lack robust security measures. A prominent example, as I have shown in this slide, a major education technology platform called Edmodo experienced experience a data breach, exposing in personal information of millions of students worldwide. And this incident highlighted the risk of storing sensitive data without adequate protection. Additionally, we are deeply worried about the potential of data exploitation. AI to not only collect personal data but also gather sensitive information about student academic performances and behaviors. This information could be shared with the third parties or used for purposes that beyond education. And for example, some AI tools utilize algorithms to analyze student emotional responses during the learning talks, and this data is then sold to advertisers to create personalized ads, and this raises significant concern about the manipulation and the unethical exploitation of the student data. And to conclude, why AI may offer educational benefit, but the privacy risk they introduce are too significant to ignore, and until this platform can guarantee the safety and ethical use of student data, I believe that it's more essential to prioritize the privacy over the convenience. Okay, thank you.
Another reason why we as parents don't believe that students should be allowed to use AI programs such as ChatGPT lies on the unreliability of the AI programs. Since AI is all just a complex tool providing responses based on existing data, it cannot verify the accuracy of the data. It cannot update the newest knowledge for students. And there is always a chance for disinformation and prediction error. As a result, AI programs may present misleading information, AI hallucinations, and AI biases. And according to the Haginger report, on average, ChatGPT's methods and answers were wrong a third of the time when solving math problems. In other words, ChatGPT would be a grade D student. Who wants to ask a grade D students to do their homework, right? So I think that it would be too many problems for high schoolers to use ChatGPT or AI programs to study. Moreover, I don't want my child to use AI since it might provide inauthentic and toxic content for studies. In the 2023 report from MIT Technology Review, Henny Farid, a professor at the University of California, Berkeley School of Information, has explained that AI doesn't have a good content moderation, since this aspect is not financially beneficial to the tech companies. So this can take a toll on student studies, especially those who are not critical readers. They are the most vulnerable victim to get the wrong knowledge for their studies. As a parent, I would say that AI programs such as ChatGPT is not as reliable as we might think. And for the sake of all children, students should not be allowed to use such programs, especially ChatGPT.
So I'm going to continue my points. The presentation, which is disparities in access to technology. So let me explain the term to you. The term disparities in access to technology refers to the unequal distribution of technology resources across different groups of people based on a variety of factors, such as their socioeconomic status or their rural settlement. To be simpler, people who live in the countryside or people who are less impoverished will have less access to the internet or technology resources compared to people who live in the city or people who are richer. As parents who finance our children for an equitable education, we may feel that it is unfair for our children to not have the same level of accessibility to advanced technologies such as AI programs, in this case, ChatGPT, especially if they face the above mentioned disadvantages. So, 79.1% is the percentages of the Vietnamese population who have access to the internet. It may be a big percentage of a majority, but if you think about it, there are still about 22 million people who doesn't have access to the internet. Next slide, please. So here's a question. This is a rhetorical question, so you don't need to answer. If you found yourself in the situation described in the statistics, do you think you would feel that your children's education was unfair compared to others with advantageous backgrounds? Me personally, I do. What about you guys? I know you guys do too. So let me conclude it. Let me wrap up my point. Therefore, I will conclude that it would be unfair for the disadvantaged side, since the conditions would differ from household to household. And that is the end of our group's presentation. Thank you guys for listening.